Hey everybody, this is Bradley of Bradley Teaches, joining you again for video graphics for Restream Studio. And I'm just here to say hi and to get the pre-show started so we can get all the pleasantries out of the way, right? So you guys can jump in and let me know where you're coming in from just to say hi. We're going to officially get started as we usually do at 4:30 Central, but it's just kind of just a pre-show to get you guys all in here, get you warmed up and ready to go. Please let me know who you are and where you're coming in from. And if you have any questions, you can go ahead and drop those in now before we get started to make sure that you guys get into the queue. And we're just going to kind of freelance another show like we did last week. Come with your questions and I can show you how to do some things. And if there's some graphics or videos you're working on that you need help with, let me know. And as I said, this is Bradley of Bradley Teaches, and this is video graphics for Restream Studio. So we're just going to hang out here for another minute or so and get started officially, and I'll come on screen. Let me get some of these other little things out of the way real quick, some housekeeping things. And here's a link in case you all don't see your name showing up in the stream or in the comment stream. You can go to this link that I just put in the post here, and you can use that link to make sure that you show up as you are, right? With your name and your photo and all that kind of stuff. So you're just not Facebook user or YouTube user. You can show up as your name and photo. Hey, Jared L., good to see you from Virginia. I am doing good. I see you are doing good. Awesome. So thank you for coming. Just me and you hanging out right now. Some other people are coming in. So yeah, but if you have any questions, please let me know. Put a Q or the word question at the beginning of your comment so I make sure that I don't miss it when you have a question about anything graphics related or, just kind of animations, whatever you're kind of working on right now. And I want to help you guys with that. Any videos that you have that you're working on right now that you need some graphics help with, let me know about that. Maybe I can help you there too. Let me turn this off since we are officially rocking and rolling right now. And I'm here, Bradley Teaches. So yeah, so welcome to today's broadcast. And I am teaching video graphics for Restream Studio. We're mostly using Canva, but if there's some other software that you may be using, let me know that. And maybe we can even play around with that a little bit. So Canva is what I use mostly for the Restream community. I also use Keynote, and I do some things in Photo P. All three of these are free software packages that you can use to create graphics with. So if there's any kind of questions you have as it relates to making graphics or any kind of graphics that you're trying to create, one of these software packages that you're not quite getting a handle on, or if there's some graphics that you made you would like for me to review, throw that link in the comment stream and I will check it out and we'll get rocking and rolling. So thank you all for coming in for another day of this. And last week we did some things on overlays and edited those overlays in Photo P. We also did kind of a follow me screen, social media kind of stuff like that. So I know some folks have asked some questions, not through the form, but they've been kind of just reaching out to me through DMs and things like that. One question that came in is actually not related to Restream, so I'll have to answer that one in a different format, or maybe I'll just email that person back. But then other people were kind of asking about the overlays in general that we were talking about last week, laying them out, using them and things like that. So I can kind of cover that again today if you guys have those questions. I answered a lot of their questions just by direct messaging them back. But if you have a similar question, let me know. Another question came up about lower third, the call to action type lower thirds, when do you use them? How do you use them? Now you have to remember that your whole screen is your palette. And wherever you place graphics is really up to you, right? Whether it's a frame overlay or a lower third, which is talking about the area of the screen, is not necessarily talking about the type of graphic. But that lower third area, you have your bug areas that's usually up here, and you have your sidebars that come in from the side. But you can also have a lower bar that shows up with content, right? So it doesn't always have to be a sidebar. It can be a bar that comes up from the bottom. So we can explore a few of those things today. If you guys want to do that, just kind of let me know what you're thinking, and we can work through some different type of graphics and things like that. So It's wide open again today, so there is no real agenda. Obviously, there's always things I can teach, but I want to do things that you want to learn about or things that you are trying to accomplish graphics wise with your videos. So I don't like to kind of go on tangents, just start doing stuff that people may or may not need. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go through some of the things that people have asked about in the past week. They weren't necessarily through the form that I have up for you to ask your questions on. So I can't say that this audience necessarily wanted those questions answered, right? But I'm going to cover a couple of things those people brought up, like sidebars, right? And just different ways that you can use a sidebar creatively and just different things you can do in that way, right? So with that in mind, let me see, can I show that? It would be helpful with graphics. Let me know, can I show that? What are you talking about, sidebars or lower thirds, call to action? So all of those are wide open. So kind of let me know a little bit more specific when you ask, can I show that, right? And I will jump on that for you. But in the meantime, let me do this though. Let me go ahead and jump into Canva while I'm waiting on the answer to this question. Hey, greetings from Canada. Cool, cool. Got somebody else watching from Los Angeles. Welcome, welcome all. So here we are in Canva. You see some remnants of the other things that we did before, but I'm gonna go here and create a new design. And I'm gonna go presentation since it's already widescreen kind of format here. All right, got some people coming in from Massachusetts. I'm sure I didn't pronounce that right. Okay, sidebars and lower thirds. Cool. So yeah, so let me do some couple of sidebar designs, couple of lower third designs. Now remember that a lower third is not the type of graphic. A lower third is basically the placement of that graphic, right? So let me go here and let's give ourselves a dark background. Let's just go black because that helps the colors jump off of it a little bit better. And so the first thing I'm going to do is do a sidebar. And it is literally what it sounds like. It's a graphic that's on the side that has content in it, right? And usually how I make this graphic, I make a bar that's roughly, it's less than 1/3 the width of the whole screen. And even here, as you see now, right, that's kind of a, more than 2/3, 1/3 kind of ratio. And a sidebar is literally that. Now, there's no real placement of the sidebar that has to be done left or right. That's a preference call. I know on my screen, which you'll see here, if I place a sidebar up, I still want my logo to be seen. So I place my sidebar on the opposite side. So that's just my preference call, right? But when you're doing this, you can set up your sidebar wherever you want to. Yes, I can do that, the semi-transparent bar for sure. Now, the translucent or transparent bar is a pro feature. It's not a free feature because you cannot export a PNG with a free version. I can export a JPEG and then open this up in Photoshop, wherever else, and delete this black part, right? But I cannot change the translucency of that bar with the text on it because everything will be more transparent, right? So if I go here to this box and I'm using the pro version here, right? So I'll knock down the transparency. And this is basically the background showing through it. So let me even do this real quick. Let me go down here to my folders. I think it's in pieces. Nope, not in pieces. Go back to folders, logos. Yep, nope, not in logos. Where did I put that? Okay, folders, Restream, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna put in my secret weapon graphic. And then I'm gonna position it to the back. And I'll lock it for now. Okay, so as you see here, I've made this a little bit more transparent. And sometimes when it's on black, you really can't see it that well, right? But I made it a little bit more transparent, but now I can add my text and just go to heading. All right, text. I want to make that bold and I'll make it white. And let's kick this up to about 60 points. All right, so as you see here, the background is translucent, the text is bold, and this is basically a sidebar design now, right? And as I've said in several other videos before, I always use my secret weapon graphic, which is a screen capture of me in my settings in my studio, and I can design on top of it. And as you see here, the sidebar is good. I don't have to move when I go back full screen, and the sidebar fits, right? So so I have the good. Awesome. All right, so we have the transparency in the back. We have the text that's bolded. You want to use a bold sans serif font. You never want to use a font with serifs like Times, Palatino, blah, 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 right? You want to use Futura, Arial, Helvetica, sans serif fonts. So we know this is how this sidebar is going to look, and it's translucent, so I can see myself through it. So I'm going to go here now, delete my secret weapon graphic. And so now if I download this, and I have the pro version, if I download this as a PNG with a transparent background, this box will be translucent, right? And text, that's fine. So if I put this into Restream Studio now as an overlay, you'll see a translucent background. So let me go here now, and I'm gonna go find that and open it up in Restream Studio. Restream Studio, I'm gonna go to my overlays palette, add, and downloads. Okay, now let's go back to full screen, turn on that overlay, and there you go. So as you see here, I'm going to move over into it, right? You can still see me through it. And so I can export with that transparency in the pro version of Canva. Now, to get that same effect, I would have to make a couple of different graphics, right? So I'd make the first graphic of just the bar, bring it into Photopea, change the opacity of it, make a secondary graphic of just the text, right? And then add them together. Now, there's pros and cons to that too, right? Because as I said before, you really can't have text with a transparent background with the free version. That's something that you can really only do with Pro. So you have to definitely want to do it that way. Yeah, Restream is great for multi-streaming, and you can do a lot of things with Restream. I mean, obviously, one of the things that you have to watch out for is you can only use one type of graphic at a time, right? So right now, I can turn on a logo. Well, it's kind of convoluted right now, but I can turn on a logo, I can turn on an overlay, and I can turn on a background all at the same time. But I can't do two of any one type of thing. So right now I have my overlay on. I have to turn that overlay off and turn on another overlay for it to work. I can't have two overlays on at the same time. I also can't have two logos on at the same time. So those are things you have to watch out for. Yeah, but that translucency is actually part of the Canva Pro version options. Yes. Okay. So can you make the sidebar? Yes, I can make the sidebar that's not transparent and bring it in. So let me show you how to do that real quick. So we'll go back here, go to Canva. And so here's the sidebar. I'm going to go ahead and kick up the transparency to 100%. And you see my text I have here, right? So now I'm going to use, this is all free option available. So what I'm going to do now is actually download it, and I'm going to download it as a JPEG because that's a free option, quality 100. Let's download that. But now you have an additional step in your workflow that you have to do. And that additional step is opening it up in Photopea. So I'm going to go to Photopea now, free application on the web. And let me go here to my downloads. Okay, so here's the JPEG. So now here's that JPEG, as you see here, It doesn't have transparent edges on it, but I'm going to go here to the fourth tool down, which is the magic wand. Looks like a little sparkler, right? I'm going to click in the area I want to delete, and you see the marching ants around it. Then I hit delete. Now that's transparent. My bar is completely solid. It's not translucent, but now the other part that I want to have gone is gone. So now I go to File, Export as PNG. Leave the size as it is, hit save. And now it's saving that sidebar. So I'm going to go back now, back to Restream Studio. Let's go to full screen here. Restream Studio, add overlay. Now here's the new overlay with the solid sidebar. So I'll show that one. And as you see now, you can't see me through it, right? So this is that same bar, no transparency because I'm using the free version of Canva, but I can still make part of it and delete it in Photopea. I can't create the translucency, but I can delete pieces of it for transparency. So it adds something to your workflow, but it's possible to do it with all free options, right? So the sidebar is solid now. Let me show you the other sidebar. So hide it. So now I can do this with the paid version, translucent, see through it, right? Or I can do solid version, can't see through it, but just as good, right? I can do all the same kind of graphics, whatever else. So that is possible. All right, so hopefully that was helpful. Let me get over here to the chat. Cool. Awesome. All right, so that's a basic sidebar, right? Now for call to action graphics or lower, remember what I said, lower third is the section of your screen, not the type of graphic. But I'm going to use that nomenclature because I know a lot of people call it a lower third and they think specific things going in there, but anything can go there. Okay, so I can make it animate in Canva, but I can't do animated overlays. Well, Restream Studio does not allow for animated overlays right now. But yes, you can make an animated GIF, export it out of Canva, and if and when Restream allows for animated overlays, you can use it then. So I can show you how to make one, but you really can't use it in Restream Studio yet, right? I'm not sure when that feature is going to launch, but and maybe I'll wait until the feature launch to show you guys how to make one. Yeah, but you can make animated graphics in Canva and export them and use them in your streaming software if it allows for that. And now the good thing about probably the best thing about Canva is that I would use it for full screen animations and not necessarily lower third animations and things like that, because you also cannot export transparent background GIFs out of Canva, the free version. But I do have a workaround for that too, if you're using a button with some animation in it or something like that. So I can show you my little trick for that if you want to see it, but I can't play that through Restream, that animation. I have to use something else to show you the animation in a live stream product. But yeah, but I can actually show you how to make that. It's not a problem at all. All right, so let's go back to Canva. And here we are in Canva again. No, we're not in Canva right now. We're in Photopea. Where's Canva? There's Canva. All right, so here we are in Canva. So that's a sidebar. It's basically a bar on the side. Now, I don't want you to only think you can do sidebars, right? You can also do a lower bar. So if you have a lot of text you're doing, you have like body copy about something, you have breaking news, you have whatever else. You can also just put that in the bar on the bottom, right? So it doesn't have to be a sidebar. It can be a bottom bar, right? You can do all kinds of different stuff like that. But I'm not going to export this one. The process is the same. And basically, you really want to And I can't overemphasize this enough that you really want to use your secret weapon graphics because it helps you so much with the layout, right? So I put this here, position it backward, and lock it. And I can design around myself and know exactly where everything goes. I can say, okay, that's not enough space there. Want a little bit more neck to show, right? And this is all rough because I might not be exactly like that when I get back on screen, but close enough, right? And you can design this. You don't have a lot of back and forth. Oh, let me tweak that and resave it. Let me do this. You really have a really close design that's almost exactly how you're going to look on screen, right? So this is what a bottom bar would look like, right? Now, a call to action. And so let's do that call to action. So a call to action is basically you're asking visitors or people that are viewing your video to do something. So you can say, click like if you agree, like that, right? And I think I've done something like this before. So you can say that. It's like little things that you're asking your audience to do something, right? To make it interactive. And you just have that pop up. Or you can say, tell me about your favorite graphic in the comments, right? So it's anything like this that you can do that you can have your audience do something, right? And you don't want to make it plain. So just, okay, I have some text here and let me go do an icon, arrow, right? So I do an arrow. And so you'll say, hey, tell me in the comments below, right? And then you just have an arrow pointing down to the comments, right? Tell me about your favorite graphic in the comments below, right? And then even have something like that. So those kind of things, right? Okay, don't let me miss your question. Let me see. How do you do a screenshot of yourself? Okay, so I'm on a Mac. So what I do is I hold down Command Shift 3 and it takes a photograph of everything on screen. Command Shift 4 gives me crosshairs that I'll then drag across what I want to take a picture of, and it takes a picture of it. On a PC, I think you right click on your screen and go to print screen, right? And then it takes a picture of your whole screen. Then you can open that up in Photo P or something like that, then crop out your video window. So all I would do is I'm here on my video screen right now. And so if I go to Command Shift 4, because I'm on a Mac, as I said before, right? And I'm going to draw crosshairs around myself. And I'm going to open up this image actually in Photo P. So I look at myself and my natural thing. I got the crosshairs drawn, and I'm now going to let go of the crosshairs. Right. So I took this goofy picture of myself, right? So now I'm going to go back to Photo P, and I'm going to open that image to show you what it looks like. Let me go to screenshots. Right. Now I took the picture of a smaller version of myself right there. All right, so now I want to transform that. All right. Right. So now you can use that to transform the picture, make it whatever size you need to make it, stuff like that, right? And so that's how I would do it. Make a little screen capture of yourself, bring it in. Oh, I'm not showing you the screen. That's why. Let's do this. Here we go. I keep looking at my screen thinking that you're on the screen with me and you're not. Okay, so here we go. So here's the screen capture I made of myself, right? And I brought it into Photo P. So now I can use this graphic, right, to now design on top of and Canva and things like that, right? And so that is actually what I literally call my secret weapon image. And I made it look kind of goofy so you guys knew it was a new image. So I just took that picture just now. I'm in Photo P. In case I do a full screen, I can put it in Photo P and crop it out. Or if I am in Canva, where'd you go? So I'm in Canva right here, right? And I can go to my folders and go to my folder that's called pieces, and I'll just drag it in. So I can go here, right? And that's how I add it to Canva. So I can click that now and use it as my secret weapon graphic. Position it backward and lock it, right? So now that's my rough presentation graphic. I can do that and I just design around it. So that's how I use it all the time to make my different designs, right? It cuts down a lot on having to go back and forth. Oh, that's a little bit too wide. It covers up half my face. Oh, that's a little bit too whatever. That's a little bit low. I really wanted it, a little bit lower on the screen compared to where I'm sitting. So all that stuff, right? And so though all those things matter. And doing a secret weapon graphic drastically helps that. So cuts down on all the back and forth. All right, so let me go here and unlock that because that's a goofy picture. All right. So, but that's how I use my secret weapon graphic. But here's some different things you might want to do as far as calls to action, right? Now, someone asked if we can loop the titles. We cannot, but what you can do is, well, if it was animated, you could, right? But as I said before, you can't do animated overlays right now in Restream. But what you can do in Canva, right, is you have that slide. You can make multiple copies of that page. They're called pages, I guess. Make multiple copies of the page. First page says this. Second page says, tell me about your favorite, I don't know, color. And then you can even make that a different color. Change the color of the arrow. Right. And so you can make all of these as separate overlays, right? Stack them up in Restream Studio and then just eyeball on and off the one that you need. Now, you could also, well, because you can't do animations. Okay. So that's one way to do it. So if you have different things you want to say, just copy that slide or that page, as Canva calls it, right? Copy that page. And now we know that the font is always the same size. We know that the arrow is always in the exact same spot. And you can make multiples of these and even from broadcast to broadcast. So you know you always have a call to action on your broadcast. But when you copy it that way, you know that my font's always going to be the same size. My arrow is going to always be in the exact same spot. And all those things kind of serve as branding. So that's just a way to be consistent that way, right? So that's another way to kind of use these. And you can export them all as, if you had the pro version, as PNGs. If not, you export them all as JPEGs and then open them up in Photo P. You eyeball or magic wand this solid color back here. And let me delete that. Oh, unlock. So you just eyeball this color and delete it, and you're good to go, right? So that's the way to do it. So this is all possible with the free version. And no, even this little piece of the arrow that's hanging out right here, right? That's a little extra accent to your video. Just a little thing that's not all in a box. But that's an easy thing to select around in Photo P. So you shouldn't have an issue with that either. All right, so yeah. So hopefully I actually answered your question about the screen capture also. Yeah, PC is called print screen. On a Mac, because I don't know what the keystrokes are on a PC either, but on a Mac is Shift Command 3, just instantly takes a picture. Shift Command 4 gives you crosshairs where you have to draw your rectangle. And when you release the rectangle, it takes the picture. Cool. All right. All right, y'all. Any more questions? Okay, so here's as I said, this is a lower third call to action type thing. I think we also talked about logo bugs and things like that. So all those different things can kind of happen down here, right? And as I said before, you can easily also do a lower third. That is a name and title box, right? So you got your name. So you can do all kinds of different stuff, right? So first name. Right, so you can do that, copy paste, and make that a color. I'm doing a lot of red and blue today. Let me do something else. Let's do green. Right. Title smaller than the name. So if I, like I said before, if I have the pro version, I could do this, right? Because I can have transparency around the text. If I have the free version, please keep this in mind. If I have the free version, I would not try to export any text that doesn't have a box around it or some kind of shape around it, because it's going to be hard in Photoshop, doesn't matter what you use, it's going to be hard to get that color from around the edges to select and delete it. So you always want to watch out for that. So, okay, so we have a sidebar we knocked out. We have a lower third kind of design we did. Here's a nameplate kind of thing that we talked about before. Let me know if there's something else you'd like to see, because I can definitely help you do that. Now, let me show you this real quick, because some people ask about animation. I'm going to show you an animation, but just keep in mind that it's not possible right now with the Restream to do animated overlays or animated buttons. So let's do kind of like an animated button. And we'll just do something simple like a click here kind of thing, right? So let's go back to no elements. Trusty square. I'm just going to do kind of a basic click here animated button. Here's a good spot for it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I don't know. Let's do an animated arrow. Animated arrow. I like that. That's pretty cool. Now the key to this, right, is to have everything you want to have animated be inside the button shape, right? So we have that button there, something real basic. Just call it click here. Now, part of this process you're going to have to trust me on, because like I said before, we can't do animated things. Okay, so we have a click here button, right? Animated arrows on it and the word click here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to export this slide, number 3. We're going to export it as an animated GIF. So download animated GIF and page number, oh, nope. We're going to do page number 3. Delete those. We're only going to do page number 3. Animated GIF, page 3, download. Okay, so what we're going to do now is actually animate this, and I'm going to show you how to make it a transparent background animation. All right, save that. Don't need that. Okay, now we're going to go back to Photo P again. So here we are on Photo P. And we're going to find our downloaded GIF and drag it over here. So here's our animated GIF. Actually, it's not the animated GIF. They made it a PSD file. Let's go back to File. Let's go File, Open. Let's do this. Downloads, GIF. There we go. Okay, so here you see here, these are all the frames that it takes to make that animated GIF. A ton of frames, right? And as we said before, we want to have a transparent background. So that means we got to delete this black space out of all of them, which is a pain, right? So let me show you how to do that. So all of these are selected, right? They're all inside this box. So we're going to go to the first one and we're going to magic wand the black, right? And as you see here, all the black is selected. We're going to go back to the folder level, not image level, not frame level, folder level, right? And then we're going to click this box down here with the hole cut out of it, right? Uh-oh, undo. Select inverse first. Select inverse. There we go. So now we're, instead of the background, we're selecting the box. So now we're going to make a mask. So let's click that. And now, as you see, the mask has been put on the folder. So no matter what level of the click here we look at, see it? So I'm turning on different eyeball levels. No matter what level we click on, they have a transparent background. So that is, let me turn myself off real quick for a hot second. So that is the, I'll just move myself, right? So that is the quick and easy way to make animated buttons with Canva by using that masking technique. If you use that masking technique, you can delete all the stuff you don't want in everything by doing it at folder level. Otherwise, I'd have to go in every frame and delete that black off that frame. And trust me, you don't want to do that, right? So as I said before, all the frames are in a folder. You want to do it at folder level. Whatever you do at folder level affects all the frames, right? So even if you went here and you decided, hey, I don't like that color blue, I want to do something else, you can go change the color at folder level and it affects all the frames. So that's one of those golden nuggets that you don't want to miss, right? And that's a good way to do an animated button. So now all this is transparent as you see the checkerboard, right? And the button is animated. Well, the button is the only part that's visible. So I'm gonna go to File, Export as GIF. And it's gonna say it's huge. Press cancel to keep the size. And it's probably gonna take a while now because it's the downside of making anything as an animated GIF is that it's the full size of your screen. It's the whole 1920 by 1080. Even though just a little part of it's animated, you're making an animated GIF that's the full screen. That's the downside to GIFs because they can be huge, right? So that's fine. Let's go ahead and save this. I'm going to take a little while. Oh, that was actually kind of quick. So what I'm going to do now, and let me go back to my main screen. Okay. And let's see something real quick. Okay, so I pulled this in through some other software. This is not Restream Studio, but I'm just doing this to prove to you that, yes, you can make an animated GIF button, right? So this is the animated image. It's working. Restream doesn't happen to be able to do this right now, but it will soon, trust me. But yeah, but this is an option that you can do, right? An animated GIF of an image. So that is possible. And it is possible to make those in Canva. Yeah, I was making an animated button in Canva, and then I opened it up in Photo P, deleted all the excess background, then I exported that animated GIF, and I used it in a different software package temporarily just to show you that it's working. And that I'm not gonna say should. I don't know when it will be, but I believe that will be available in Restream momentarily, where you'll be able to do animated overlays, right? So you can use Canva to make animated overlays, like I did right there. What's great about it, excuse me, is that you can do full screen animations and things like that. Save those as videos, then upload the video to Restream today, right? Those are possible because I actually did a countdown video clip in one of my tutorials. I'll show it to you real quick. Right. So that's possible to make, right? With audio and all that kind of stuff in it. So there's different things that you can obviously do in Canva, um, and make those kind of different things available, right? All right. So let's see any more questions here. Okay, let's see. Don't want to miss any of y'all's questions. Okay, I did the sidebar, did the lower bar, did an animated button, did a lower third. All right, cool, cool, cool. Hello, Soli, Soli Serger. Hello, how you doing? All right, so hopefully that's been helpful so far, y'all. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see, anything else you'd like me to kind of experiment with for you and show you how to do. As I said, all these things are available in Canva, and I'm sure many of you already have Canva, but I will put a link to Canva here real quick too. There's a link to Canva. That's the easy way. I just show everybody how to do stuff. That'll get you into Canva, and I think that might also even give you a temporary discount on the pro version, but the free version is free. So just use that link, join up, and you're good to go. Uh, all right, y'all. I won't do a last call right now, but if you okay, here we go. Any chance you can make an intro in Canva? Yes, you can make intros in Canva. Let me see. Depends on. Let me go back to Canva. Where we at? All right, so here's Canva here. Let me open it back up and move myself down here out of the way. Okay, so here we are in Canva. I'm gonna go to create new design. Let's go home first. Home, create new design. And I mean, you could do a video, right? So you can make a video. They have all kinds of video ads you can do and stuff like that. There's even video uh, templates. So even something like this, right? So this is a free one. And as you see here, it's each one is 5 seconds long. So say we do this one, right? So you can add your own kind of clip back here. All these are animated in. And let me play it. Right. So basically, you can do something even simple like this. You just go in, change the colors to your brand colors. Click on each of these, make them whatever colors you want. Um, yeah, that's too big, but I can make it smaller. That's one thing on. There we go. Do that. Tweak them around. So even here, as you see here, right, I'd have to ungroup these to do the colorization of the box if I want to do the different color. So I go to ungroup, and now I can color the box. I can make the boxes a color, I don't know, gray, whatever, right? So I can play it again to see all the different pieces, right? And now all I have to do is export this as a video, and I can definitely upload this video into Restream, which I'll do now. Let's go to download, MP4 video, that's fine. And it's about a 4-second video as it says right here. Now, if I go to my graphics, it's still downloading. So if I go to my graphics, I can upload a video clip. That's fine. Save that. So if I go to my video clips in the graphics palette, you have logos, overlays, video clips, backgrounds. You want to upload this as a video clip. So I'm going to video clips, upload that MP4, and it shouldn't take that long. It's only about 4 seconds, but it says it's processing right now. Okay, I did knock that out pretty quick. So if I go here now, right? And it automatically goes away after it plays, right? So you can easily do those kind of things in Canva. You can use their templates, you can build it from scratch. And that's the thing about Canva, right? It has all these templates, which is a really deep rabbit hole you can go down and mess around with that all day. So it's always good to have something in mind first, then jump in, make little edits. If you have a video clip you want to put here, or use their generic video clip, you can put your logo here or some kind of icon. So you start off with these, right? And this is like a little 4-second clip. You can add sound effects to it. So this is a good way to do a logo reveal or something like that. So there's all kinds of different ways you can do it, right? So yeah, but you can easily do an intro in Canva this way. So hopefully that was helpful. But essentially all you do is you can just grab a video, design it the way you want to, edit it, or start from scratch, export that as a movie file, import that as a movie into Restream, and when you play it, it will play and mute your mic so you can add its own sounds to it. But when it's over, it comes back to you on screen. Now, when you say custom fonts in Canva, I'm not exactly sure what you mean, like upload your own fonts. I haven't noticed that. I don't want to say you can't, but I haven't noticed that as a particular feature. So I'm guessing maybe if you did have some special, well, they'd have to probably be web fonts because Canva's not really Mac or PC specific. So you have the TrueType fonts and all the kind of stuff like that. So it might have to be a web font or web-based font that you can use. It might let you upload your own fonts because I'm using, as I said, I'm on the pro version and they have a section called branding, right? But I don't know if you can, yeah, I don't know if you can upload your own fonts. You might be able to because I have the paid version. I have I can have multiple folders of different stuff. I can do my brand, as they say, right? My brand color palettes and all that kind of stuff. So maybe it'll let me upload fonts too. I've never honestly tried that because Canva's not my particular app that I use all the time for these. I mostly use Keynote. I use Canva more so for people that don't have Macs. So I do stuff in Canva too. But I haven't done anything with custom fonts per se. But I can definitely look that up for you. Or even a Google search might be able to help with that, right? Can use your own fonts. That I do not know. All right, y'all. Hopefully I've been helpful for you all today. So, and I appreciate your questions. Been a lively group today. I like that. Like doing work and then helping you guys kind of create stuff. So cool. All right. All right, y'all. So if you don't have any more questions, I think I'm gonna call it for today. But let me know. I'm still here if you need me though. So just want to be accessible to you and want to make sure I'm seeing all the questions y'all have. All right, y'all. All right, so I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of time to ask a question if you have a question, and we can kind of work on other stuff from there. But I definitely appreciate y'all being here today. It's been a lively group. I like that. So, but that's the typical way that these sessions will go. I want to jump in and just kind of help you with whatever you're working on. If there's things you're trying to explore, ask me about it, right? And I can try to jump into Canva or Keynote if you're on a Mac. Canva is cross-platform, so I prefer to use that because I know people from both systems are using it. If there's some kind of graphic type thing you're working on, something you're trying to create in Canva for your video, let me know. Let's see if we can make it. If there's something that you're trying to work on right now, you're not sure if Canva can do it, let's try to make it. Something you've already made that you're not quite happy with, want to put the final touches on it, just want to have another creative person look at it, give you pointers on it, not critique per se, but just give you ideas to help you out, to push it a little bit further. That's what this is for, right? And we're trying to do all of this with the Restream Studio. So we're going to use it to its fullest capabilities of what it can use with graphics and different things like that, video, logo bugs, and all those kind of things. And it's going to push it as far as we can to get the best out of it. So as you are working with your graphics, just let me know how that goes. And let me see, there's a link to Canva. There's a link if you want to be on the chat. All right, I'm gonna make sure I hadn't missed anybody. Sidebars, lower thirds, did those. Semi-transparent overlay, yes, with text. Yeah, the semi-transparent part. Let me do this real quick. Let me just show you something, right? So let's go to new design. I got a whole bunch of designs just in here that I've done quickly. All right, so we're going to go back here. We're going to do a sidebar again. Black background. And let's get a little bit more colorful with our sidebar this time. Let's go to, no, you don't want, well, we can do gradient. Let's do gradient. And there we are here. Now here's the downside of this, right? It's going to be scaled proportionally, which is way too wide. So I'm going to go over here like this. I'm going to keep those colors for now. And we're going to download this. Oh, you know what? Let's make 2 slides. So we're going to copy this. I keep calling them slides. So we're going to copy this one, go to text. Well, that doesn't really work either. Because like I said before, you don't want your text not to have a background on it, because then it's going to be hard to select around it. Yeah, so you can do different layered pieces, but you're going to run into the same thing once you start using text on it. Yeah, so that's kind of how that's going to go. Cool, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you for the kind words on that. Yeah, but it's just want to help you all. I want to help empower you all to do your most with your video streams, because your content is important to you, right? And the world needs to see what you're creating. So I'm always trying to help you all brand your videos better, enhance your videos with graphics, not to the point where the graphic is the most important thing on the screen, right? But just ways to enhance your video with graphics, because there's little things you can do, little tweaks you can make to enhance it and to have your video, even like what I say, to make your video screen capturable, right? Or screen capture worthy, right? So because say for instance, I'm doing this presentation and I'm talking about, today we're going to talk about 1, 2, 3, right? Instead of that person taking notes, they would take a screen capture of this. So now my video has now become a shareable graphic automatically, just because I use the sidebar with content in it. if I did a full screen graphic, right, which is another great branding option. If you want to get off screen for a few seconds and read some notes, having a full screen graphic with some text in it is a great thing to kind of break up the monotony and have something else on screen other than you and give people a break from you being on screen, right? And that's something that people may screen capture because it has content in it that they don't have to write down. And so you want to do all these little things like that and let your graphics enhance what you're doing, but not be graphics always flying all over the screen and in the way, and people's eyeballs are going all over the place because they're trying to follow all these graphics, right? So you want to use them to enhance what you're doing, not take over what you're doing. So that's the main purpose of using the graphics. All righty. Okay, y'all. So I think that is it for today. Thank you all so much for coming out and hanging out with me. I'm gonna leave the floor open if you guys have any more questions or comments also. Now, if there's anything that you want me to speak about specifically next week, you can let me know now since we're just kind of here hanging out. Oh, we have another question. Let's see. Is there an advantage for you on these softwares if you have more capable PC? You know, that's no. Well, put it this way. The better the system, the faster things are going to go, right? Because right now I'm running a DSLR camera. I got my lights on. I have a soundboard. All that stuff is running to my computer through USB, right? So that's using up hardware and RAM. I have a browser window. I have 2 browser windows open, 3 browser windows open, software open, Canva's open, Photopea is open. So my hard drive and my RAM helps all those things run smoothly without sputtering and locking up, right? So because the software is web-based, it's a combination of CPU power and internet speed for that sake and purpose, right? Now, as far as just handling graphics in a general sense, yes, the more RAM, the better, the more power, the better, the processing speed, the better. Because running a video overlay, as you see here, that video intro, on top of your video behind it takes up space and takes up RAM, right? So you want to have as powerful a computer as you can to run your video. I'd rather have too much power than pushing it to its limits, right? So yeah, so faster, bigger, stronger is always better with computers. But you know, because a lot of the software is web-based, it has maybe even have more to do with your internet connection than it does to your RAM and processing speed. But it's a combination of both. So like I said, I have nearly 30 years of graphic design experience, right? So I use the graphic design staple applications: Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign. I've used Premiere, I've used Final Cut Pro, all that stuff, right? But I train on software. I'll show people how to use software that's easier for them to use. So yeah, long story short, if you can get more power into your system, you can get a more powerful computer, get one. Yeah, but for these software packages, Canva, Easel, et al., you know, all those kind of web-based graphics applications, your internet connection is probably going to be more important than your RAM and processing speed. So, but you want to have the best of all of that. If you're running desktop software, yes, processing speed, RAM, hard drive space, all those things are important. But a lot of for this web-based stuff, it's probably going to be your internet connection that's going to be the more important than even your processing speed. All right, everybody. So that is it. Thank you all for coming through today and supporting me. It means a lot to me to have you guys come here and let me serve you this way. So I will see you all next week. Have an awesome Memorial Day weekend. Those of you that are in the United States, I'm not sure if other countries celebrate it or not. I don't know. But it's kind of all Memorial Day, so I guess you don't. Yeah, but it is a holiday weekend, but it is a weekend of remembrance, right? So it's kind of one of those solemn holidays that we remember those that have fallen. But thank you all for coming and joining me now. And I will see you all next week. Be blessed, be free, be good to yourselves, be good to one another. Shoot me a DM, shoot me a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Use that form and let me know things that you want to ask. But until then, I'm Bradley Vincent of Bradley Teaches, aka Alana's Pawpaw. See y'all soon. Bye-bye.